Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 90 of Impact Makers. It's been a while, right, Dustin? We've been pretty busy.
Yeah, we've been all over the place here in November.
Yeah. The last few weeks, though, November being a busy month for us. Last few weeks, a key aha kind of popped out in our work, training work, just working with other, firm leaders, presenting at a couple of conferences, and it deals with training. And so, Dustin, why don't you share with our listeners what that aha was with respect to training?
We had a great session last week with our League of Champions group that we've put together with Accountability Plus. It's audit and tax leaders from leading firms around the country that get together and talk about innovative strategies and always thinking 2 or 3, 4 years forward into the future about where do we need to be positioned to best serve our clients and thinking about the future. So we always get, while the group brings a lot of value to each other, and we bring, we try to bring a lot of value to that group. Everyone always has ahas leaving from that, and one of them was, there was a really interesting conversation around training, and specifically a question that got asked is, what's the secret to unlocking the greatness in our people, unlocking that potential in our people? And we actually went off script a little bit, deviated from the agenda a bit to go down that rabbit hole. And we had some great conversation. And ultimately, by throwing out a couple of questions around, asking each of those firm leaders to think about different times in their career where they felt like they took that next step, that next leap in performance and potential and development, really tuned into their career and excited and motivated about the opportunities. As we had them consider that question and think about a couple of those moments over their careers, and we had them share with us. Then once they brainstormed, two themes came out. And there's much more here to explore that we're going to need to dive deeper into, right? But I thought it was pretty interesting that as we went around, a couple dozen people in the room and asked them for, what their moments were and what led up to it. Two themes. Number one, they were given more responsibility, but in a way that it was an extension of trust that made them feel very confident that they were being extended that trust and given that responsibility, and they were stretching what they were currently doing. And so it was not just throwing people to the wolves, but it was an appropriate extension of trust, given responsibility. And then the second key theme that came out in these examples, these moments that people remembered, was that they felt like there was hands-on mentorship as they were going through this new opportunity or given this additional responsibility, that whether it was a manager, a leader, a mentor, whatever it might be, that they remember there was high hands-on touch points that they had with that person that really made them feel connected to the work they were doing, the company they were at, etc. So I think there's more to explore there, but ultimately where we ended up is, if we try and checklist an L&D training program and create robots, we're going to have all kinds of issues, even worse than we have now in the accounting profession, with motivating, with developing our people, with learning and development, with unlocking that potential, keeping them in the profession. We probably need to take a step back from the pendulum swinging all the way to making it as checklist as possible. We need some more human touch points in the process and more one-on-one focused. So just, there's lots more there to dive into, and we need to further explore, but just giving our listeners a sneak peek into some of the awesome conversations we had.
Yeah, Dustin, like you said, we're going to come back to this. So I'm just going to end this one right here as a little bit of a teaser, but we'll come back and unpack this more in future episodes.